And the reason I wanted to get you on here, obviously very knowledgeable and very talented, but mainly as a thank you, weirdly, because one of your videos, which was when should you go full time, was actually one of the catalysts for me to go full time. And
That was filmed a while ago as well. That was back when I was like living at my mum's.
um, so yeah, and it was just like, when it's like, it's not something necessarily new, but it's just someone different says it and it just clicks. And I remember you just saying like, go with your gut. And I was just thinking, I fucking hate my job. Like I just need to get out and I need to do this. And that's what kind of made me lay a plan down for going self-employed and kind of giving this thing a go really. So is that something that you've always done in kind of like your business, is just follow your gut?
Yeah, I would say so. It was something I picked up. Trying to think now what it must have been. So I've always had an interest in videos. So even when I was in school in like year 10, 11, um, I like started making YouTube videos, or even year 9, I think. I remember I was playing with like dad's old JVC camera, like tape deck, and they had a bigger Sony one. We'd use that sometimes. And I think it originally stemmed from where dad used to always record like me and my brother opening all the presents at Christmas. It was just like every year. And I think gradually that it must have engraved in me somehow, like this love for film, because gradually of each
Yeah.
Christmas I'd like start playing with the camera more. And, times led on. Eventually, my dad got me a camera when we went on holiday one time, and that's when it really, I guess, I started making YouTube videos, which are no longer online because I was so embarrassed by them. And they're
Oh
on some
no.
like random, like weird name account. But I'd make like, this is back in the days, like Sony Vegas, like torrenting the
Nice.
software, just making like cool videos. And I think the problem, I think I had like real, not just growth within business, but personal growth between sort of the years of maybe like 18 to like 22. I'd say sort of like that 4 year gap was a period in which I just started to say, like, screw it, like, I'm just going to go for it. So yeah, I guess following your gut. And I think listening more, like, that's when I started to listen to a lot of like podcasts, and I started listening to like a lot of Gary V's content as well, especially when I was just starting out going self-employed. But this was like, I was already self-employed when I was listening to his sort of like his content. Before that, it was just, I don't know, like I'd realized I could, because when I first started where I'm from, like Southend in Essex, I only knew of two videographers or photographers that were doing it full time, and I just always thought it's a rarity, like it's never really going to happen. Like I didn't even know you could do it as a full time as my job. So when all of a sudden, I did seasons abroad. If anyone who knows my story, I did seasons abroad, and then off the back of that, I built friends and a clientele, which very fortunately stretched like most, all different parts of the UK. So when I was going to do jobs, you're expanding my network and so on. And yeah, that was sort of it. Just felt right. I think it was. I've been through a lot of 9 to 5 jobs, like a lot.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I think I came to sort of realize. I mean, the last job I had was working at JD Sports, and I generally liked that job, but I was still really, I was really hustling on the side of my video work. I was doing jobs. I'd go on tour. I had 2 DJs. They were called Dre Cavid, and yeah, flip on the name as who you'd think it on, Craig David. And yeah, I'd go, like, they'd pay me like 50 quid, and they were like doing DJing gigs like an hour away. I'd drive them down. We'd make like a little tour vlog out of it. I was, and even at JD, I weren't on a lot of money. I was on maybe 150, 180 quid a week. Like,
Yeah.
but I think that's when I was realizing, right,
You
this,
knew.
it was, the dots were starting to connect a little bit more. So I was just like, you just got to go to it. And then once I realized, like, the JG the job at JD just sort of happened. It was through a friend of a friend. And I think that's when I realized that I chose to leave there. It was probably the first job I wasn't fired or
Slag from.
sat from, to be honest. Because the problem was I was great for like interviews. I can smash, like, first a week of work. I'll smash it, brilliant. But after that was always the thought of, well, I don't want to work here for the rest of my life, so why should I bother putting effort in? I could
Yeah.
never. It was never. I've never been made for that. And there's nothing wrong with it. There are people who get up, go to work, smash it, and they love their job, or they just see it as a means to pay for their life. But for me, it was always like, well, no, I'm not going to do something if I'm not happy doing it. Like
Yeah.
I've actually said it the other week again to my housemates. Fortunately, there's a lot of work coming in again now, but there's a lot of jobs I don't really want to be doing. But I took them on. You take them on through COVID because obviously
Yeah, of
everyone,
course.
we all, we were taking what we could grab through COVID. It wasn't a thing, but now it's like where positions are getting a bit better. It's like, well, do you know what? I'd rather earn, less money. And I said this when I worked at JD, like I'd rather earn less money and just be happier because I've done the jobs that pay great. But if you're not enjoying it, then what is the point? Like what?
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I see it in my eyes. So I've sort of gone on a tangent there from the gut instincts, but
No, no, it's
yeah,
cool.
I think deep down, if something hasn't made me happy, then I'm just like, I'm looking bigger picture. Well, I'm not going to be here in a year, so what's the point? Why
Yeah.
should I put effort in? And some of these jobs I had, I was working for a bank, getting paid like stupid money. I think it was like £12 an hour to literally copy and paste. It was just on computer systems in a call center. I wasn't even taking calls. Like the easiest job you can probably imagine. And I just thought, what's the point?
It's
And that
almost too
showed. And
easy.
3 months later, I was let go. So
Ah.
it's. I think it's them sort of things where it's like I got let go from there, and it was all these bits, and I was like, well, I don't really want to be doing this anyway. So
So
yeah,
it's
I
the
think
right time.
always just having, I don't know, it's just always been in me to just, and even in normal life, if it ain't gonna bring me happiness, I just don't want to do it. Even more now, where I don't really like try. Like normally, you'd like try to find an excuse for not doing something. If someone's like, I'd just be quite frank. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I don't really have much interest in that. I'm not being rude when I'm saying it. I'm just saying, look, it's not gonna make me happy. So I don't really want to. Why would I waste my time doing something that's not gonna make me happy?
That's a compliment to me, obviously, because you agreed to be on this podcast. So if you weren't interested, you would have said. So that's good to know.